Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing so well. I feel like I haven't sat down to film a nice little chatty video in a while. There is a glare on my glasses. I got new glasses. These are slightly smaller than my other ones and I really like them. I feel like they fit my face a bit better. Anyway, every time I film, I have to take my glasses off because I always sit in front of a light or a window or something. Well, I always sit in front of a window. I don't have a light. But I'll take them off. I'll be partially blind, which is how I usually film, partially blind. Anyway, I haven't sat down to film a nice little chatty reading vlog-ish kind of update video in a while, so I thought that it would be nice to do one because I'm reading some amazing books. I have read some amazing books. I'm rereading one of my favorite books. I'm reading for the first time an incredible book, and I just want to talk to you guys about them. I'm just very excited. So yes, I have been quite busy recently, which is why I have just taken up different chunks of my time for like sit down videos. So I haven't filmed a vlog in a while because it's just been a little crazy for me. But anyway, have you missed the rambles? They're back. So the first book that I want to talk to you guys about, I cannot wait. You guys just saw me reading it. It's The Heart of the Dog by Mikhail Bulgakov. This was my first Bulgakov and oh my goodness gracious me, oh my. I loved it. I loved it. I was sitting there in front of the fire with Willow. Willow's also on my lap right now. Everyone want to say hi? Oh, you could see the other books I'm going to talk about. There's Willow. Everybody loves seeing Willow, so she is of course always in the videos. And I was reading The Heart of the Dog with Willow sitting on my lap in front of the fire, and it was a really bizarre experience because this is a crazy book about these two doctors who take the heart and the genitals of a human man who was recently deceased and puts them in a dog. They put him under anesthesia, the dog, and then replaces the dog's heart with the recently deceased man's heart and removes his, genitals and replaces it with the man's. It is insane. So then anyway, this is the story about the dog starts acting more and more like a man and eventually becomes basically man, part man. And this reminded me a lot of the same themes and the same kind of story like Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, but I really don't like Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I don't know why. I know so many people love it, but when I was reading this book, I was like, this is exactly what I wanted from Frankenstein, but what I didn't get. And it's so bizarre, it's so crazy, and I'll read you the back because I found the back really interesting. So just the way that they explain it, I think they explain it well. A rich, successful Moscow professor befriends a stray dog and attempts a scientific first by transplanting into it the testicles and pituitary gland of a recently deceased man. A distinctly, worryingly human animal is now on the loose, and the professor's hitherto respectable life becomes a nightmare. An absurd and superbly comic tale, this classic novel can also be read as a fierce parable of the Russian Revolution. And it was just, like, I knew Bulgakov was going to be really crazy and bizarre, but this was even more than I could have imagined, and I loved it. I loved it so much. His writing was so engrossing, and I just wanted to keep reading, and so I sat there in front of the fire with Willow on my lap, which was so weird because I was thinking about, like, if Willow was part human, and it's a bit gruesome. When they actually do the experiment, I was just like, ooh, that's a lot of information. But it was just so incredible, and I loved it in a really weird way. This isn't a book that you really love, but I loved it. And yes, so I sat down and I was like, okay, I'll read a chapter, or I'll read 2 chapters. And I read the whole entire thing because I couldn't put it down. It's a pretty short novel. It's about 130 pages, and this is my first Bulgakov, and I have The Master and Margarita on my shelves, and I definitely want to read it. I want to read all of his books now, but this was such a great place to start with Bulgakov, so if you don't know where to start and you want to start with Bulgakov, I recommend starting with one of his shorter works because I know I'm holding off on The Master and Margarita because I want I want to research a little bit more before I go into it. I want to go into it with a bit more historical context and historical understanding so that it doesn't go over my head. Anyway, this was just a great book that you can pick up. Kind of, it talks about some political, well, it talks about, yeah, major political themes, but not ones that you have to do major research on before reading it. Anyway, I absolutely loved it, and I just want to reread it again. Someone recommended me on my Instagram. It's in Russian. There's a movie that they made of The Heart of the Dog, and it has English subtitles, and they gave me the YouTube link, so I've been watching that, and I've been really enjoying it. I said in my past video where I talk about, I have it right here, oh, my book haul, because I have a comment that I want to read, so I have my comments up on my computer. But yeah, so in my recent book haul, I was talking about how I love foreign films because it's like reading and watching a movie. It's like books and movies combined. So I've really been enjoying that. I loved The Heart of the Dog. It was just, I just couldn't put it down. I loved it so much. If you want to pick up Bulgakov and you haven't, please pick up The Heart of the Dog and then talk to me about it. If you have read The Heart of the Dog, I would love to hear what you have to say about it. It is just like insane, but in the best way. And I can't wait to read more Bulgakov. I'm so excited. So yeah, the comment that I want to mention, it was from my book haul video, and you guys are so funny because I include Willow in a lot of my videos now because I have to take care of her, obviously, and whenever she takes a nap, I film because it's the perfect time. I don't have to worry about if she's like eating the furniture or peeing on the floor or anything. So you guys are loving the Willow content, and I'm so glad. There is going to be more right after this clip, so I hope you enjoy it. But there's this comment, it's from Biba P. I'm so glad that you made an appearance on Willow's channel because this is Willow's world and she's just that gracious and lets us talk about books on here. How very lovely of her. I read that comment and I like burst out laughing, so thank you so much for that. I love all the Willow content. Everyone is saying, oh, I love Willow so much. She reminds me of Lady from Lady and the Tramp. Yeah, she's the same breed as Lady and the Tramp, Lady from Lady and the Tramp. And then someone else said, if only I had a Willow to nap on my lap. I wish that you guys could all take a turn and have Willow nap on your lap. But yes, so thank you so much for all the Willow comments and love, and now you guys get some more Willow content, and I hope you enjoy. What are you doing? She's getting so excited now. And you have to wait till tomorrow for the next one. That's it. Where's number 2? Right here. What's that? What is it? Oh, it's 2. Oh my gosh. Yeah, yesterday it was just 1. They gave her 2 for this one. Same size. Okay, we'll save this one for later, okay? No, we don't get it yet. We don't get it yet. Can I have a kiss? Can I have a kiss? Give me a kiss. Thank you. Gross. You wanna play? You wanna play? You want to play? Let's play. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So yes, Willow has an advent calendar for December. Today is December 3rd. I haven't given her advent for today, but I thought it would be cute if I filmed her eating her advent, so that's what I did. Yesterday, I also took her for a walk and gave her a bath, and I was like, if you could see my knees in that last clip, where I was in my blue shirt and I had jeans on, and they were like soaking wet with water. I hope you guys enjoyed the Willow content. It will be here to stay, and then the next book that I started that you guys just saw was Dr. Zhivago by Boris Pasternak. This is a modern library edition. Oh, I didn't say who the translator of The Heart of the Dog is. This is translated by Michael Glennie. It was a great translation, really liked it, very easy to get through, very fast-paced and approachable as translation. This one is the original translation of Dr. Zhivago, translated from the Russian by Max Hayward and Manya Harari. This also has the poems of Yuri Zhivago at the end. I haven't read my pages for yesterday or today yet, so I have to read those. I'm currently on chapter 4, The Hour of the Inevitable. I'm on page 91, and I'm loving it. I know every time I talk about Russian lit on my channel, I get at least one person telling me that I need to read Dr. Zhivago, and I finally am. I'm reading this with a few of my friends, so it is just such a joy to read this with other people as well and to talk about it. This book, I wasn't planning on annotating it, and I'm not really annotating it, but I am just putting sticky tabs. I'm color coding sticky tabs and putting them in wherever they are necessary, wherever I want to put them. And I just want to maybe take a minute and read some of the tabs that I've tabbed. So this is a book about a young boy who is Dr. Zhivago. His name is Yuri Zhivago, and it's about his life in Russian society. It's about so much that I don't even know where to begin. One of the main themes of this book is his coming of age, and also the people in his life and how they affect each other, of course, which is about, you know, any story is about one person and how the other people in their lives affect their lives, and also the things that happen to them. Obviously, that's just the essence of a story. But yes, I feel like I don't want to say too much about this book because I just want everyone to experience it on their own without any preconceptions. So I will just read you some of my favorite passages and lines. The first line, the first sentence, I read it and I just had tears in my eyes, and I was like, nothing has even happened, and I'm already upset. Not upset, but I'm already taken aback and just speechless by how beautiful it is. And Boris Pasternak is a poet, and you can just see that in his prose writing. He just puts so much emotion, so much imagery and beauty in everything that he says, and here is an example. So this is literally the first line of the entire book. Chapter 1, The 5 o'clock Express. On they went, singing Rest Eternal, and whenever they stopped, their feet, the horses, and the gusts of wind seemed to carry on their singing. I don't know why, I read that and it came to life. It came off of the page and I could hear them singing. I could hear their feet and the horses and the wind, and I could feel the cold wind on my face. And there's just something so incredible about when you put really the simple words on the page and you put them in a certain configuration that they evoke such a vivid image and such a vivid feeling in you. And I don't know, it took my breath away, and I was in love with that. So we start off with Yuri, the main character, as a very young boy losing his mother. It gives you this incredible image. They're at the gravesite, and it says, the coffin was closed, nailed, and lowered into the ground. Clouds of earth rained on the lid as the grave was hurriedly filled by 4 spades. A little mound formed. A 10-year-old boy climbed on it. Only the state of stupor and insensibility, which is gradually induced by all big funerals, could have created the impression that he intended to speak over his mother's grave. the whole thing is just like, oh my god, my heart. Oh, I loved this. This is chapter 2, page 4, right at the very beginning. Outside there was no trace of the road, the graveyard, or the kitchen garden. Nothing but the blizzard. The air smoking with snow. It was almost as if the snowstorm had caught sight of Yura, and the Yura is Yuri, and conscious of its power to terrify, roared and howled, doing everything possible to impress him, turning over and over in the sky, length after length of whiteness unwound over the earth and shrouded it. The blizzard was alone in the world. It had no rival. Just the way that he like personifies the blizzard and the wind and the snow, it's just, are you kidding me? Amazing. Something else I really love too is he makes, and Charles Dickens always does this so well, he makes the mundane magical. They're talking about the family of the Zhivago, and the name Zhivago holds a lot of power, or used to hold a lot of power. So it says, this is chapter 3 now, page 5. He could remember a time in his early childhood when a large number of things were still known by his family name. There was a Zhivago factory, a Zhivago bank, Zhivago buildings, a Zhivago neckpin, even a Zhivago cake, and at one time if you said Zhivago to your sleigh driver in Moscow, it was as if you had said, "Take me to Timbuktu," and he carried you off to a fairy tale kingdom. You would find yourself transported to a vast, quiet park. Crows settled on the heavy branches of firs, scattering the hoarfrost. Their cawing echoed and re-echoed like crackling wood. Purebred dogs came running across the road out of the clearing from the recently constructed house. Farther on, lights appeared in the gathering dusk. And then, suddenly, all that was gone. They were poor. Just everything about this writing and this story. Where I am now, I'm getting much more invested in the characters' stories and development themselves. One of my favorite characters is Pasha. He's one of the side characters, but I love him. He just is a sweet little... I just love him so much. Lara is one of our other main characters. She is our main central female character. And also Tanya and his relationship, her relationship with Yuri, and it's just, I want to say so much about this book, but I feel like if I talk about it, I'll give so much away, and I don't want to. I want everyone to go in just knowing that this is the most incredible writing, and that the story is just equally beautiful, and I'm absolutely loving it. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. So being an illustrator and an artist, I love metaphors about art, and this is one of them that I really loved. But he was too young to write such a book. Instead, he wrote poetry. He was like a painter who was always making sketches for a big canvas he had in mind. I love that. I love that so much. Oh my gosh. Amazing. Boris Pasternak is just blowing me away, taking my breath away. I'm just loving his writing, loving this story, and loving the process of reading it. So yes, everyone, please read Dr. Zhivago if you haven't. Oh my gosh. It's amazing, and I highly recommend this translation, which is the first translation. Can't wait to read my chapters for today. I have started reading A Christmas Carol, or rereading it. This is for the Dickens and Tolstoy debate. So I do have a few clips of me reading A Christmas Carol, and I will show those to you now, and then once we're done, I will talk to you a little bit about how much I love A Christmas Carol. so yes, I am currently in the middle of rereading A Christmas Carol. I read this book for the first time, I think 2 years ago, so this is my third time rereading it. I read it every year. Every year it feels like coming home from being a year away. Like I'll Be Home for Christmas, for instance, is one of the best, most loved Christmas songs. And that's how it feels reading this book. It's like I'll be home for Christmas, but home is A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. And so I have read the first stave so far. This is broken up into 4, I think. Look at me, such a Dickens expert. 5 staves. Stave 1 is Marley's Ghost. Stave 2 is the first of the 3 spirits. Stave 3 is the second of the 3 spirits. Stave 4 is the last of the spirits. And Stave 5 is the end of it. And this is a beautiful, beautiful edition that my amazing friend Emma from her YouTube channel, Emmy, gifted me last year for Christmas. It is a replica of the original publication, like the first editions, and I am in love with it. It's so beautiful. It has green end papers, and then it also has a replica of, so it says the facsimile reproduction of the title page from Dickens's manuscript on this side. Yes, this is the original title page, and then also if you go, it has an introduction, a preface, but also I showed you guys, so it has the original illustrations, and it also, yeah, so these illustrations are by John Leech. This is the original title page, which I just love so much, and it's in color. I love that it's in color, gold sprayed edges. I'm just, oh my god, I love it so much. And then on the inside, there are just black and white illustrations by John Leech. I love John Leech's work. I also love Fizz and Crookshanks, which are 2 other illustrators that illustrated for Charles Dickens' works. I love it so much. This book has such a hold on my heart. I think Charles Dickens is at his best in this book and in so many of his books, but especially in this book. I think this is the essence of Dickens for me. Like A Christmas Carol, the way that he writes it, the way that he formulates a sentence, and just, it's masterful. So if you have never read A Christmas Carol before, stop what you're doing and read it, because this is the perfect time. Oh my goodness. No matter what holidays you celebrate or what religion, I think there is so much that you can get out of A Christmas Carol. Just the writing itself is so incredible, and I just love it so much. So this is, I thought I would read you the beginning of A Christmas Carol. Okay. A Christmas Carol, Stave 1, Marley's Ghost. Marley was dead, to begin with. There is no doubt whatever about that. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. Scrooge signed it, and Scrooge's name was good upon change for anything he chose to put his name to. Old Marley was dead as a doornail. Mind, I don't mean to say that I know of my own knowledge what there is particularly dead about a doornail. I might have been inclined myself to regard a coffin nail to be the deadest piece of ironmongery in the trade. But the wisdom of our ancestors is in the simile, and my unhallowed hands shall not disturb it, or the country's done for. You will therefore permit me to repeat, emphatically, that Marley was dead as a doornail. What an opening, what a beginning. Oh my gosh. I also want to read you guys the preface, because it's so great. I know I did show it, but I just want to read it out for you. It says, I have endeavored in this ghostly little book to raise the ghost of an idea, which shall not put my readers out of humor with themselves, with each other, with the season, or with me. May it haunt their houses pleasantly, and no one wish to lay it. Their faithful friend and servant, C.D., December 1842. I love A Christmas Carol. I love Charles Dickens. Oh my goodness. So we are reading it for the Dickens and Tolstoy debate for December. We are also reading an optional historical fiction called Mr. Dickens and His Carol, which is about the writing process of A Christmas Carol. Also, there is an amazing movie that Emma and I will be watching together, and that is The Man Who Invented Christmas. It has Dan Stevens and Christopher Plummer, an amazing cast of characters. Both of those stories. I believe there is also a book called The Man Who Invented Christmas that the movie is inspired by, I think. Maybe the book came after the movie, I'm not too sure. And just the story of Dickens's process of writing A Christmas Carol is almost as amazing as A Christmas Carol itself, and I just adore it so, so much. I could talk about this book forever. I could film a whole entire video discussing it. His writing, the themes, the imagery, his similes and metaphors, and his descriptions, and the characters, and the character development of Scrooge, and the aspect of the spirits and the ghosts and the effect that it has on Scrooge. And I think the main theme of this book that I love so much is to always do good when you are able to do good, because when you're unable, when you're dead, and you want to atone for your mistakes of not having been good in your life, then it's too late. And so it's all about Scrooge being warned that before it's too late to do all that you can to be better. And I love that. It's so just the spirit of Christmas. Dickens did have such a great effect on the season itself, and I am the biggest lover of Christmas. You can see I did put a Santa hat on Tolstoy like I did. I made that for him last year. Anyway, so I think that's a good segue. So I am going to keep reading A Christmas Carol, keep loving it so much. Just rereading this book is amazing. Also, if you're wondering, I got this from Emma, so I don't know exactly where she got this book from. I got a few questions on my Instagram about people asking me where I got this book. I don't know where she got it, but it's from Arcturus Publishing. This edition in 2020 by Arcturus Publishing Limited. So yes, not sure where you can find this, but it is by Arcturus. Anyway, so as you can see from my Christmas trees, Santa hat, I have a bow, Christmas trees on there, put a little bow on that frame, and you see a snowman and another Christmas tree. I did decorate my reading room, my writing room, my art room, don't really know what this place is called, my studio, pretty much. I did decorate it, so I filmed a little bit of me decorating for Christmas, and I hope you guys, whether you celebrate or not, have been having a wonderful end of November, beginning of December, and you have enjoyed this video, gotten a little catch up with me. I have been doing a lot of writing for my book. I've been doing a lot of reading, which is lovely, working on some Etsy stuff. I do have a new product coming that I mentioned in past videos, but it was delayed and it's getting here around December 13th, which I hoped that it would come earlier, but I'm thinking maybe releasing it at the new year as a little special something. So I've just been working a lot and reading a lot and just, yeah, living the freelance life. So I hope you guys are having a great day and have enjoyed this little reading update. I would love to know what you guys are reading. Also, before I forget, I had it out so that I wouldn't forget to talk about it, and then I put books on top of it. It's Resurrection by Leo Tolstoy. So Emma and I are having our Resurrection debate tomorrow, December 4th, on my channel at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to try to get this video up before tomorrow so that you guys can know that it's tomorrow, but even if you miss it, it'll stay on my channel. So yes, I loved Resurrection. I don't want to talk a lot about it now because we're having a whole debate on it tomorrow, so I figured we would just leave all of that for tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my channel. Emma and I will be debating Resurrection, which I know that she hated it. She gave it 2 stars. She wanted to throw it out into the snow. How dare you? No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so that's tomorrow. Anyway, I think that's all that I have to say. Sorry this was rambly. You know me. This all I do is ramble, but you know, that's okay. So I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'll wake Willow up so she can say goodbye. Bye everyone. She's like, oh my gosh, stop waking me up. Okay, bye guys. I will see you soon in another video. Is she falling back to sleep just sitting here? Are you falling asleep? Did you have a good nap? Okay, I will see you guys soon in another video. Happy reading!